something to remember, history made, legacy made. That's why I'm here. So whoever wants it can get it.
That's who you are. I have no doubt about it. But I asked a very direct question. This is first thing. He don't know me that well yet. Who do you are? Like, who's the guy?
Garcia.
That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear, Dana.
Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn. Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn. Who wins? Ryan Garcia, knockout. Yeah? Shannon, what's your prediction on the upcoming fight, Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn? I don't know. It's close one, right? No comment. Ryan Garcia's the favorite, though. What you think?
Go with Conor.
You go with Conor?
By knockout.
By knockout?
Go with Conor.
What round? What round?
Go with Conor.
Yeah?
6 rounds.
6 rounds.
Let's go, champ.
That's it, Brooklyn. Right now we got Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. Who do you pick in that fight?
I like Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia, does he win by knockout or what?
I don't know. If he can land that hook, maybe so.
Conor Benn, you don't hear does have a good chance?
I think Conor Benn he's a very locked-in fighter. He's a very strong fighter, very focused fighter. I like Conor Benn. He's a good fighter. But I just think that right now it might be Ryan Garcia's time.
That's it, the one and only.
Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. He's had a lot of both guys having their own issues, like you said, with banned substances at one point or another. That's how you feel, Rolly? That's it. What do you think that fight looks like in the ring, though?
I don't care about that.
Steven, Smith just set the entire boxing world on fire. And he did it without throwing a single punch. When the polarizing ESPN host boldly claimed that Conor Benn has zero chance of surviving Ryan Garcia, he did not just make a prediction. He ignited a cross-Atlantic war of words that forced both fighters into a vicious, highly public standoff.
Let's see what's gonna happen then. I'm a world champion now. What has he been doing? Why are we talking about him? He hasn't been doing nothing, Steven. You're lucky you're in Los Angeles. He's kind of easier to handle with you right now, you know? I'm mad that you're in Los Angeles.
But I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about him. I wanted to talk about you because with Conor Benn, he fights at 147. So I'm wondering, like if you're gonna fight him, where would you fight him at, number one? And number two, are you saying that from 140 to 147, you're willing to fluctuate and move back and forth as opposed to just moving up and weight or whatever? What's your intent?
Well, my intent, look at my strength and conditioning coach, he said that he believes that I can make 140 comfortably. You know, I trust, the people, my team around me. If their opportunity presents itself, I would love to fight Shakur Stevenson, or we could bring Gervonta back, from wherever he's at, resurrect him for, you know what I mean? Like, let's go. I want that. If the opportunity presents itself, I just want boxing to be at the top. I want to make these fights happen, and I know I can beat these guys. Conor Benn, of course, 147. I would love to defend my title, and if that happens.
It is a deeply personal feud fueled by backstage confrontations, harsh accusations, and a stylistic nightmare that experts believe will end in a devastating knockout. But while American media seems absolutely convinced of a quick finish, a growing chorus of boxing legends are stepping out of the shadows to warn that a massive upset is brewing.
Ain't doing good. We know your sparring ain't what it is. We know you can't make weight. This is why Conor Benn said this is his last time at 147. My guy is making excuses before he loses. Who says that, bro? This is my last fight at 147. My guy, this is your first fight at 144. Ross, no, you used to fight at 147. But you haven't fought here in 2-3 years.
Tension between these two did not start with a formal contract negotiation. It kicked off in London, far away from the cameras, when Benn unexpectedly pulled up on Garcia at an awards show to start trouble. That quiet hostility stayed hidden behind closed doors until Stephen A. Smith decided to blow the lid off it live on national television. While interviewing Benn and Dana White on First Take, Smith practically goaded the British fighter. He looked right at Benn and begged him to show some fire. That was all it took. Benn stared dead into the lens and aggressively called out Garcia, dragging their private animosity into the blazing spotlight.
Screen, you were in the ring after Shakur Stevenson won his fight.
But Ryan Garcia and the potential for a fight against him is what everybody's been making noise about as well. Where is your head in regards to that? What fight do you want? What have you told Dana White?
Listen,
What the fight that you want?
We're going to try and make the WBC World title, you know, mandatory for that shot. I've worked hard to get to that shot, but ultimately I'm not sure of options. You know, there's plenty of fighters calling me out, so we'll see what's there. Whatever fight the public want, they can get. I'm here because I want to make the biggest fights possible. I want to make the most memorable nights in boxing. You know, the ones where people go, oh, what a fight, what a night. Something to remember, history made, legacy made. That's why I'm here, so whoever wants it can get it.
That's who you are, I have no doubt about it. But I asked a very direct question. This is Curtis. He don't know me that well yet. Who do you want? Who's the guy?
Garcia.
That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear, Dana. That's what I was asking about. What about you, Dana?
I agree with everything he said. That's why I'm in the business right now, is to make the fights that people want to see. Put on massive. You know what's crazy? So we were together yesterday, and he asked me, this is the state of boxing right now. He says, did you watch my father fight? I said, are you crazy? When your father was fighting, everybody all over the world knew who, the champion was, knew who, when big fights happened anywhere in the world, everybody watched. Boxing was big in America back then. So that is my goal, is to make it that way again over the next.
Boxing was big in America back then. So that is my goal, is to make it that way again over the next 5. Garcia immediately fired back on Instagram Live, turning up the heat and screaming that he was going to beat Ben bad. The media circus had officially begun.
Ashley tried to hit me, I would knock you the fuck out, bro. You don't do shit, man. You won't do shit. Bro, you won't do shit. You won't do shit, bro. You little I promise you I would. I promise you I would. I beat the shit way bigger people than you back in my day.
You ain't doing nothing.
I promise you I
Back
have.
in what day?
When I was younger, dumbass. What the fuck you talking about? What does back in the day mean, dumbass? What does back in the day mean, dumbass?
Doing nothing.
Alright, I bet you I would. See, you don't know the switch. You don't know what switch. Alright,
what switch? You're sitting there in fucking high heels, bro. You think I'm gonna take you serious?
That's cool.
You're sitting
I'm
there
not
in
taking
high
serious with that hair.
heels. You're sitting there
You
in
look
high heels.
stupid.
Bro,
You look like top ramen on the top of your head. Like I'm about to eat some noodles.
You're like a little child,
Like just shut up.
I'm a bad man.
Alright, you're not a bad man. Who are you though? Who are you? You were Silver Smoke, right? Correct? Right? Hey, remember, I did this my whole life. You chose the box. This is all I ever known. I started at
Exactly,
7.
I chose the box.
Exactly, and
I
this is all
chose
I
the
ever
box,
known. There's gonna be a
exactly.
big difference in that ring.
We'll see,
You're gonna
we'll
see.
see.
I
Bro,
see
shut
way
up,
more patterns
shut
in
up. You
boxing
couldn't
than
knock
you
that
have.
shit, bro.
Just
Breaking down the actual fight reveals exactly why Stephen Smith is so confident in a violent finish. His core argument centers entirely on a massive stylistic flaw in how the British contender operates. Ben is known for relentless forward marching pressure, constantly swarming his opponents to overwhelm them. But analysts point out that this aggressive style is basically a death sentence against someone with Garcia's explosive hand speed. Walking straight forward leaves you wide open, and Garcia possesses one of the most lethal quick-draw left hooks in the modern era. When a pure brawler blindly rushes a high-level counterpuncher, it usually ends with someone staring up at the stadium lights. Smith warned that Ben simply has not faced anyone with this terrifying combination of blinding speed and pinpoint timing.
Of course he calls me out now, he's a coward. He probably thinks, how's Conor looking at 147, 150 in 4 years? He weren't calling me out for the past 2 years, was he? Where's he been? While I've been vocal and actively chasing that fight. It's cowardly, but he can get it next, and he'll get a better version of me.
He literally said, I look so washed that Ryan, you a chump for calling me out. Like, he called Ryan a cherry pick. Like, I look so washed. Ryan, you cherry picking, but guess what? I'll fight the fight. I'll fight him. I'll fight. But I know Conor believes in himself. And he's saying, you think that you're punching down. Wait until you see us fight.
Wait until you see us fight. Hearing himself written off completely caused Conor Benn to erupt. He aggressively ripped into Smith, completely dismissing the ESPN host's boxing knowledge and blaming him for pushing a mainstream American narrative. But Ben did not stop at the media. He went straight for Garcia's throat, guaranteeing he will stop the young star in 5 rounds or less. To do it, Ben is targeting the mental game. He openly questioned Garcia's heart and toughness, dragging up past fights where Garcia has taken a knee when things got tough.
I think there's a way where you can question his heart, or people can question his heart because of the way that the Tank fights and the Rolly fights went.
Did he quit?
Do you think he's a quitter? I guess.
Did he quit? As a fighter, I can say he did.
Yeah.
With Rolly, did he go in his shell once he got clipped? You know, so he did. You know, and that's our DNA is just different. Our makeup's completely different. You know, I'm a guy swinging, and I'm a guy on my shield always. You know, I'll stand there and have it with you.
When you see him finish fights like that, does that give you confidence when you talk about yourself putting in 110%?
No, I mean, I just I don't think about what you're talking about. Yeah. I just focus on being the best fighter I can be, making sure that I'm in the best nick when I go into the fight. And when I see an opportunity to knock him out, I'm gonna take it.
And then the fun one for myself, obviously a lot of people sort of talking about yourself making 147 again. I guess from your camp, the weight come off nicely.
It's hard, it's brutal. This is my last fight at 147.
Your last fight?
This is my last fight at 147. When I win the world title, I'll move on. But for me, I haven't made 147 for 4 years, so it's challenging. Don't get me wrong, it's really hard. You think I went up to 183 pounds for the Eubank fights, you know, so it's hard, but you know, we're getting it done.
So after this fight, we'll be going up to 154 pounds then?
154 once.
He plans to drag Garcia into a brutal shootout in the center of the ring, testing whether the flashier fighter has the grit to survive real suffocating pressure. Ryan Garcia, talk about the character, but he appeared to unsettle Devin Haney when they had their fight a couple of years back, and at the launch presser his sort of wild behavior. Are you ready for sort of more of that bravado as we get towards fight night? It is all just noise. It does not really concern me. Interview 8. But Eddie Hearn stunned the boxing community by doing the exact opposite. Despite his long history promoting Ben, Hearn is actually leaning toward Garcia to get the win. It all comes down to the brutal physical toll of making weight. Hearn pointed out that squeezing down to 147 pounds is an absolute nightmare for his fighter. He noted that even at 150 pounds against Regis Prograis, Ben looked visibly exhausted and lacked the usual zip on his punches.
It ain't gonna change the way I prepare. You know, I prepare diligently hard and always put the work in.
What relates to this quite well, Terence Crawford come out on social media and warned Garcia after he said he'd knock you out in 5. Do you think he's taking you seriously enough, Ryan?
Of course. You don't get to where you get to world level or top level contenders and not take it serious.
Ryan's been knocked down before in his career. Will he go down again on September 12th?
Of course. I don't plan on this fight going the distance. I plan on going in there and getting a stoppage.
Believes Garcia is just too sharp and heavy-handed for a drained opponent. Hall of Fame legend Carl Froch echoed that brutal sentiment, bluntly predicting that the Brit would get outclassed and absolutely splattered. Froch argued that fighting regional talent does not prepare you for the crushing reality of world championship power. Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia? How do we see that one panning out? Because on paper, that is what should happen next.
Ben, obviously it's been over 2 years since you fought at 147. How do you expect Conor to fare in that fight?
I think Conor's always going to be competitive. You know, he's trained really hard. He's got a lot of heart. I don't like him at 147 pounds now because that was one of the problems in going to 160 to fight Eubank. To come back to 140, it's a really tough thing to do. And I think when he fought Prograis, was it 151 or 150? He just didn't look the same. He looked like he was lacking power, didn't look that strong. And Ryan Garcia is a guy who's kind of built his way up to 147. He's super fit and good at the weight at 147. And he's a world-class fighter who punches very, very hard and is very sharp. So Conor's always going to be in the fight because he's got a lot of heart, but I don't see him winning that fight at 147. I think his better weight will be up towards 154. I don't think middleweight's his weight either, but I think he'll find it really tough to make that weight, and I don't think he'll feel physically where he needs to be. But listen, even with everything that's gone on, he's a British fighter. I hope he does it.
Not everyone is buying into the Ryan Garcia hype machine. some of the most respected minds in the sport see a glaring opportunity for a monumental upset. Brian McIntyre, the mastermind trainer behind Terence Crawford, is confidently backing the underdog to completely destroy Garcia. He sees massive defensive holes and erratic focus, suggesting Garcia has not looked the same in recent outings.
Conor Benn, Ryan Garcia. How do we see that one panning out? Because on paper, that is what should happen next. Suddenly, is that's still not the big landmark name you want, though, is it?
Not for Ryan Garcia, no. I mean, Conor Benn against Ryan Garcia, I think Conor Benn gets absolutely splattered. I've got to be honest, I don't think he's got a chance. He's not there yet. I've said it before, and he gets the ultimate for me for saying it. But who's he beat? What's he done? Who's his biggest win?
It's Eubank.
You can't say it's a big win. This guy finished Eubank years ago, and Eubank's lost a couple of fights. He got battered by Liam Smith, and that's a level. It's like, what's Eubank done to warrant Conor Benn saying, I'm ready for world titles like this against this guy? I know he's just now become a new world champion, and it'd be a good fight, but for me, I just think Ryan Garcia runs rings around him. I don't know if you agree or disagree.
He might have a new dream. He might have a better dream. If I had Conor Benn, I'm probably looking at Garcia though as the one for me, because it's a bigger fight than the Shakur fight. And more winnable. So it's more dangerous in some ways, but it's more winnable in others. And that's a fight that I would be really excited for, to be honest. I'd really, because I think Conor Benn, whether he's limited or unproven in certain ways, he's got an exciting style, and he's good to watch. He's fun to watch, and he's coming off a massive high. And he's a much better fighter now than he was a year ago, just through having those 2 counts, fights, the whole process against Eubank, performing on the highest stage, coming back from a loss to avenge it in a great way. And maybe it might be flattering because Chris Eubank was so finished, but I think the Garcia fight, I think it's a great.
Former world champion Amir Khan strongly agrees, warning fans that they are heavily underestimating Benn's raw power just because Garcia has fought in bigger arenas. Khan pointed out that you cannot blink when facing that kind of relentless aggression. This camp believes the real question is not about speed. It is about what happens if Garcia lands his best perfect shot and his opponent simply smiles and keeps walking forward.
Garcia, Conor Benn.
Conor Benn will probably stop.
What? Really?
He gonna probably stop him. Ryan he ain't been this since that first fight with he got popped. He just had never been he never got back to that type of winning. I've seen being firsthand. Man, dude, he gonna destroy you. You heard it first. You heard it first, man.
Absolutely. Listen, at the peak of his powers, if he can deliver that sort of performance, then of course he has got a shot.
We've seen him carry power down at 147. We saw him carry power against Chris van der Herden. We saw him carry power against Chris Algieri. We saw him carry power against Samuel Vargas. If we see that translation, then we might see something different than we expect from Conor, maybe not?
Absolutely. Listen, at the peak of his powers, if he can deliver that sort of performance, then of course he's got a shot, because we've seen Ryan Garcia, against Mario Barrios, he didn't look particularly good. He looked very flat in that fight. So we've seen him when he's not looked particularly good.
This fierce debate has completely fractured the global boxing fan base, splitting directly along geographic lines. Scroll through Reddit or X, and you will find an absolute war zone in the comments. American fans and media are aggressively sharing clips of Stephen A. Smith's breakdown, completely unified in the belief that the left hook is the ultimate equalizer. They see the matchup as a straightforward mismatch. It comes down to skill and experience, which is something that I think Ryan Garcia excels in compared to Conor Benn. As much of a big star as Conor Benn is right now, I think we are forgetting that he has little to no amateur experience. He started boxing at the late age of 17 and only had 22 amateur fights before turning professional, which is seriously nothing. And I think people forget how much amateur experience plays a part in your skill level as a fighter. It builds experience against genuine tough competition and other fighters who are the best in the country. Now, Ryan Garcia, on the other hand, had 230 amateur fights with 215 of those being wins. Boxing since the age of 7, winning 9 national championships.
Which is something that I think Ryan Garcia excels in compared to Conor Benn. As much of a big star as Conor Benn is right now, I think we're forgetting that he has little to no amateur experience. He started boxing at the late age of 17 and only had 22 amateur fights before turning professional, which is seriously nothing. And I think people forget how much amateur experience plays a part in your skill level as a fighter. It builds experience against genuine tough competition and other fighters who are the best in the country. Now, Ryan Garcia, on the other hand, had 230 amateur fights, with 215 of those being wins. Boxing since the age of 7, winning 9 national championships. Now, I know Ryan Garcia is sometimes seen as a social media fighter and just a one-trick pony, but people are forgetting that a 9-time national champion and 215 amateur wins is something that requires serious skill and boxing IQ. And in Ryan's last fight against Mario Barrios, where he went 12 rounds and outpointed him, we got to see a little bit more of Ryan's amateur background and his genuine boxing skill. He boxed extremely nicely, and we saw from him something that we've never seen before. Now, against a wild fighter like Conor Benn, I feel like this amateur experience will really show. Again, when looking at Conor Benn's last performance against Regis Prograis, it really wasn't anything too impressive, considering Regis was nearly washed, 38 years old, and has been beaten much easier than fighters who are worse than Ryan Garcia. That was supposed to be a shutout performance for Conor Benn, where really they handed him a washed up Regis Prograis on a plate for him to just dismantle. But it didn't seem to go that way, with some points in the fight even being competitive. Now, with someone who puts pressure on like Ryan Garcia, I don't think Conor Benn will be able to handle that. Not to mention, with Ryan Garcia's boxing ability, I feel that if he can stay on the back foot and counter Benn when necessary, with his incredible timing, I feel that it could be a very easy night for Ryan Garcia.
On the flip side, the UK fan base is ruthlessly tagging Smith, accusing him of having zero clue about the sport outside of US borders. British pundits argue that American analysts are dazzled by social media followers and flashy combinations, entirely ignoring the grueling high-pressure dominant performances that built Benn's reputation. It has turned into a vicious culture war over what truly matters in the ring: explosive natural talent or unbreakable grinding resilience.
Who do I favor and why? Honestly, that's up in the air, man. I would like to see Conor Benn actually put on a good showing and good fight for Ryan and actually give him some challenges there. You know, obviously Conor Benn didn't look as exciting and as great against an experienced fighter like Regis Prograis. You know, definitely gave him something to fight and earn for in that fight. But and then you see Ryan, he swept the floor on Barrios. So if we see the same Ryan that we saw in Barrios, I think he's unbeatable right now. So you know, it should be a great fight though. Overall, people should definitely tune in. And you know, the only thing that's the downside of that is it's not on the zone everywhere.
Well,
it's on the downside.
You know, Ryan, Terrence Crawford noted he's questioning Ryan's focus heading into this fight. And to be fair to Terrence, like his body looked better at this stage of camp heading into the Barrios fight. Just looking at him physically, his body right now, about 6 weeks out from the fight, looks more like it did heading into the upset loss to Rolly. You know, but you said if he comes in like Barrios, he'll be unbeatable in this fight. But is that the version you think we're getting from the outside looking in?
I think we're gonna get an example of what it is. You always hear the saying where they say, it's easier to get the belt, but then it's harder to keep, right? So you always hear that type of saying, and maybe Ryan right now might find out that, right? Ideally, in the business aspect, everyone wants to see Ryan win. But Conor Benn is hungry. He's in there. He's in the gym every day. He's speaking Spanish to the man, and he's not even Spanish. So, you know, he's not Hispanic. So I think those things show the determination and what it means to Conor Benn. You know, when he didn't look so great against Eubank the first time, he came back with vengeance the second time. So definitely, Conor Benn is no pushover, man. I said it before, I think Conor Benn might pull the upset.
Is Conor Benn on that level? Because ultimately, this showdown represents the absolute peak of stylistic clashes. On one side, you have pure concussive timing designed to end a fight in a split second. On the other, you have a relentless engine built to break a man's spirit round by agonizing round. The noise outside the ropes has reached a fever pitch. But once the bell rings, all the media narratives and Twitter debates vanish. Someone's chin is going to get tested, and someone's heart is going to be questioned. When raw aggression finally collides with lightning speed, who will actually walk out of that ring with their career intact? What are your predictions for this fight, though? Drop them in the comments. That is all for today. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And do not forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.